All right, welcome back to the Gym Business Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, joined in the studio today by Randy Von Angsten. What's up, man?
Good morning.
Check it out, guys. The Growth Summit, June 25th through 27th, fitprogrowsummit.com. Guys, this is our 8th annual event. We bring a couple hundred gym owners, some of the best speakers on the planet come in and speak to you. There's learning, networking, happy hours, after parties, workshops, front end, back end. We take care of all of the food for you guys for your lunches and happy hours, drinks. We got the recordings on there for the people in the VIP. Cannot wait to see you guys. The tickets are going up. They're almost out, really. I mean, by the time you're getting this podcast, it may be sold out. So this is your last chance, probably, to get in on this. Would love to see you guys there. It's in June, at the end of June. It's my favorite event.
Yeah. Check out the link, fitprogrowsummit.com. If tickets are still available, lock them in. But
Lock in.
It's coming down to the wire.
All right. Let's talk about frameworks for a second. So in our Gym Business Coach coaching program, Springboard, Iron Circle, we've kind of taken all of our teachings down to what we call frameworks. And this is a concept that I learned from Russell Brunson on how to teach differently. If you ever look at his books, .com Secrets, they have these little doodle sketches. Mm-hmm. Those are essentially his frameworks. Yeah. If you think about it, right? You know, the Epiphany Bridge or the hero, the Epiphany story and all this stuff. And he talks about everything in frameworks. So we took a look at what we were teaching. We were teaching frameworks already. We just didn't call them that. And so what we did is we distilled down all of our teachings down into frameworks. We've put them in a book, super cool, some videos and stuff. That's for another day. But what I want to do is talk about one of the frameworks, at least today. We call it the decision flow principle. And really what it is when you're running a gym or any business, you've got somebody that makes decisions, mm-hmm. And typically it's the owner, right? And small micro gym aspect, boutique gym, kind of everything's going through the owner.
Yeah.
And the owner becomes the bottleneck. It becomes the thing that slows the business down. And Mike McAllowitz said it the best, right? He goes, if you should purposely create the decision flow not to go through. I guess that's the point of the message, right? Because if everybody's waiting on you as the owner, nothing gets done. It's just the owner's the busiest. There's always something going on. They may be traveling, and the day-to-day operations stop because the owner needs to make the decision. Well, your business is stagnant. So
staff doesn't have the autonomy to make the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sitting around waiting, which is just, again,
on any team, that is, and time is the enemy.
Yep.
A lot of times, right? I put this in place years ago. I just didn't want to make all the decisions because I knew I was the one that's going to slow it down. And I also believe the team can make decisions.
I can tell you, from the first week we started, when ProFit first started,
mm-hmm.
this was it was a real conversation. You know what I mean? It wasn't just something that happened. It was no, go do that. You have the authority to
mm-hmm.
continue to make those decisions. Keep me out of it. And
mm-hmm.
I'm sure that was an aspect of what led to that rapid growth.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
It has to, because again, it's just, think of a funnel of all of the things that come into the day. And then there's this pinch point down to a drop, right? And that's like the decisions. If you're making everything go through one point, which is the owner, and it just drips out, that's basically the flow of the business. But if you had multiple funnels and they're all dripping and they're all making decisions, they're all pushing the business forward, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Employees, owners always have this thing, if nobody's going to do it as good as me. And that's probably true in a lot of aspects. It's not always true. There's probably true for some of the business stuff, but you don't need to make every decision. One of the things that I did early on when I was giving decision, autonomy, authority to, at the time it was Todd, and then it was Brent, and then it was Zach, and now it's Jolie. It's up to a certain financial amount, that's where you start. Hey, up to $500 or less, you just make the decision, you purchase the thing, you hire the thing, you make the thing, or you go call the maintenance company and get it fixed, up to a certain amount. And then as they stay in the business longer, then it goes to 1,000, then there's no limit, right? Because again, why bother somebody, the owner, for a $100 or a $50, Amazon order.
Yeah.
That just slows everything down.
Yeah.
And so decision flow framework is the purposeful action of allowing your team to make decisions on the best interest of the business. Therefore, the business moves forward faster. The owner's freed up to do other things, and nobody's waiting on the dang owner to make the damn decision.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other half of that is, right, you as the person giving the autonomy, you're going to find situations where the wrong decision was made or something didn't go as planned or as you, the owner, would make that decision. And, a lot of times gym owners or business owners are resistant in giving that authority because they're afraid of that. But that's the whole reason, right? I don't know if I can trust them to make the right decisions in lieu of me doing it. But that's where we always say that's a coaching opportunity, right?
Sure.
Let's not stop the business. Let's not let's not halt all progress because the decision has to go to the owner. If that employee does make the wrong decision, and I could use myself as a perfect example, right? Like when you gave us that autonomy, you also said, hey, you go make a decision that's within that scope. Your job's not on the line. It's a coaching opportunity.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which then, but that empowers the person making the decisions to feel good about taking action rather than them sitting back and being like, hesitant.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like locking it up where they're
I don't want to get in
not
trouble.
gonna make that. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's afraid of like the repercussions.
Oh no.
But when you lead with that and you let them know, hey, in the event that the wrong decision is made, I will have your back. As long as you can give me a reason why that decision was made that way, and I can understand that, cool. Now we'll have a conversation, and I'll show you why it should have been done differently.
Sure.
And that was a big part too, because it wasn't just passing along the autonomy; it was passing along the autonomy without the risk in a way, Because I could see that too. I mean, you've got people in your business that you trust, and you feel like they could make qualified decisions, but then they're hesitant because the risk.
Yeah. I would love for every gym owner to adopt this kind of like mentality. And our mentality was this: you have to make a decision, and if you make a decision, it has to be 100 miles an hour. Like we do not hesitate on the decisions that we make, the choices that we make, left or right. And yes, if we're wrong, if that was the wrong choice, we're going to autocorrect down the road. And hopefully it doesn't hurt us that bad. And usually it doesn't, right? Like what are the things in the business that a coach or a fitness director is going to make that could hinder? Like they're not making membership pricing decisions on their own. That's typically going through management or whatever. They're not. What are they going to really do? They're going to give away a membership for free to somebody that they should have charged for, and you correct it by don't do that again, and let's get this person, bring them into the office, say, hey, that was a mistake. It's not going to burn the business down, right? So like, what are the things that they can really do? Even hiring decisions, that is up to the team. I don't make hiring decisions.
And that's a huge one. Because,
oh my God, it's huge.
The impact that has on the business.
Now, there's guys in our iron circle that absolutely say that's a bad idea. John Farkas, for example, he makes all the hiring decisions. That's cool. For me, I trust the team enough, and I'm always brought in on somebody that's on the fence. I'm always brought in. Sure. Hey, Tim, would you talk to this guy? Let me see, get your opinions. And I've even had it the other way where, Zach wasn't going to hire somebody who was on the fence, and I came in and I spoke to him, and I was like, this guy's a perfect fit. And he ended up being one of our best coaches, Zach Jr., right? Yeah. He was one of our best. He wasn't going to hire the guy because he couldn't get the answers, or it wasn't like flowing very well. And I was like, let me talk to him. And at the end of that interview with the guy, he goes, my job, Zach Jr., to make sure you're a likable guy.
Sure.
And you're a likable guy, you're hired, right? And he's like, all right, cool. Because he was, some people don't interview well. And that was really one of the things. That was one of the funniest case in points, right? Like he was afraid to make that decision, but if he would have made, he was actually going to not hire the guy.
Yeah.
So I fixed it before it was too late. So that was a thing where, yes, Zach could have made the decision either way to hire or not hire, but he wasn't quite sure. And that's an absolute time to bring the owner in. Like, hey, give me a second opinion. It took 30 minutes, 45 minutes or whatever, and have a little chat. So that was it. And again, this isn't, I don't think this is the thing holding most gym owners back. I don't believe that's true, making all the decisions. But I do think when you start allowing your team to make the calls on things, it does two things. One, frees you up. Obviously, the business moves faster, but it empowers the team. They enjoy being there a little bit more. Now they get a little authority. They can make decisions. And yeah, let's not fire somebody over a bad decision that you gave them the right to make the decision on. So super simple framework, something that a lot of operations don't follow. Everything's got to go through the head honcho, right? And I don't believe that that's always should be the case. And maybe take a hard look at your business today and say like, hey man, are we stagnant? Do we lose momentum because everything's got to go through me? And if that's the case, let's start delegating some decision making downhill up to a certain point. Teach your team like how to make decisions. And sometimes the decisions that are made, they don't even need to tell you about it.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Unless it's important. I don't need to know that you made a decision unless you want me to like pat you on the back. Cool. Then I'll do that too. But that's pretty much it, guys. It's so simple, but it's so powerful, is the thing that could catapult your business into, at least for time freedom, but speed, momentum, carrying the torch, all those things kind of live in this one framework. So go take a look. Hopefully that helps you guys. Let's see you at the Growth Summit. Can't wait to share more frameworks with you guys on following episodes, but really we're breaking down, I think, 15 of the frameworks in our workshop. The $1 Million Model Workshop on Thursday afternoon at the Growth Summit. FitProGrowthSummit.com. We will see you guys there. That's it for this episode. See you on the next one. Bye.